me and Doc have been cooking some new hero pair ideas, and thankfully both of us have been thinking about Falgrim. And well, since the test server when I tried the new Falgrim hero pair, which was working amazingly well against maxed out hero pairs, we decided to bring it back. And today we're gonna speak about generally Falgrim, but our one secret hero pair, which we both believe that works absolutely amazingly well if you're gonna have some requirements which you have to do in order for you to get a lot of merits, right? First of all, let me say that Falgrim and Sybil is a nice hero pair. It won't gonna be better than like Magraton Zaida. It's like Falgrim and Sybil is kind of same tier as Syndrion, Freygar, Inara, Nicole, and such as, right? Not the highest amount of merits, but good average amount of merits. So that's why I believe even Sybil and even Falgrim can be worked in different hero pairs. And first of all, since this is about Falgrim, I'm gonna speak about main idea why Falgrim can be nice, especially during war, right? So as I said, there is two types of archer heroes. One, skill damage factor. Second, more normal attackers. This one is more of a skill damage factor archer hero pair, which benefits not having long range warfare, because when you have higher physical attack, especially base one, you will deal more damage with like skill damage users, right? So also splash damage, additional damage factor is always great during the wars. So I think in terms of merits, Falgrim especially should be getting way more merits than Sybil if we're gonna compare them in like together, right? The second skill, defense bonus, not that impressive. March speed bonus, always nice. March speed reduction, debuff is always nice, right? But 50% defense bonus might be good, but in general, I always prefer to have HP bonuses, right? Marksman unit attack, 25% is a good amount of number, and yet again, normal attack damage taken by marksman, another debuff, right? Another debuff. Normal attack damage dealt bonus 6%, that's amazing skill. And penetration bolt damage bonus 20%, like 4 skill is really good, right? And also I think awakening skill actually matters. Launching normal attack, it deals 20% more hero skill damage until next time Falgrim casts a rage skill. So the idea is that Falgrim is a skill damage user, a rage user, and it's amazing that finally archers are having a skill damage user archer, which is also dealing damage to multiple targets, which means this additional damage is a splash damage, basically, right? We have a couple of skill damage users in our game. Falgrim is one of them, Nico is another, Kinara is another, so like we have a direction already, right? So since we like understood the idea behind Falgrim and why it's interesting hero for me, I think it's time for me to speak about our build, right? And how our build will perform, and also I will check. I will let you guys see the reports and duels which we have done, right? First of all, you might say, okay, awakened Falgrim, but the reports which we had, it was pretty interesting. So what's the idea behind Falgrim and Nico, right? Generally, whenever you are dealing damage by the skill, you would love to have a defense break on your march, right? Because that's the way I was using Kinara, and Kinara is skill damage user, and Kinara was dealing a lot of damage. Same here, both of them will be skill damage users plus defense break, which is really important, and defense break might even apply to nearby enemies whenever you're gonna deal damage by the bolt, right? Of course, the second skill is non-existence for Nico. Marksman's physical attack 20% and defense bonus. Even here we have some kind of synergy, right? Here we have the defense bonus 15%, and here we have 20% more, right? And in total it's getting pretty good number. The fourth skill, normal attack damage bonus 20%, counter attack damage bonus 20%. Well, it might not have like huge synergy, but the important aspect is that when casting a rage skill, Legion gains onslaught, right? Still, it's connected about like using rage, and main idea behind the Falgrim and also Nico is to just basically use rage. Also, of course, if we had like awakened Nico, it would be even more impressive. But still, this is all fine. At some point, we're gonna have awakened Nico, and we're gonna have even more debuff. they have 80% chance to deal additional damage, 200 more physical damage, simply just applying debuff, right? Also, what's important to have the Iron Tusk, right? Our Iron Tusk is level 1, and it's Rapid Salvo. Basically, this is the artifact exclusively good for the Falgrim. Fires a hail of bolts in a forward cone, dealing diffused physical damage every second to up to 5 enemy legions within the cone for 3 seconds. The additional effect why this artifact is especially great for Falgrim: when penetrating bolt deals damage, the Wildle deals 10% more hero skill damage for 10 seconds. So 10 seconds is quite a lot of time, plus the only hero in Call of Dragons which just use this penetrating bolt. Maybe in the future we're gonna have other heroes, but so far only Falgrim deals damage with the penetrating bolt, and that's why I think the Iron Tusk is the number one artifact for Falgrim hero pairs if you are using Falgrim as a primary hero. So I think this is like best in slot, right? Since we mentioned that Falgrim is primary hero, of course we're gonna speak about the talents, right? Here we have two choices. Right now I'm showing you one choice, which is the skill talent tree. The second choice I'm gonna tell you after we're gonna stop discussing skill talent tree, right? Skill talent tree. So we are going for Spirit of Rage. Casting a rage skill grants 20% additional rage because, well, since we casted our skill, our main damage dealing ability is skill, so we want to do it more, right? That's the idea. Here we have every time your hero casts a rage skill, they deal 0.5% more hero skill damage up to maximum 8%, and if somehow during wars we can get like this effect lasts until battle ends. Basically during war, if you are targeting infantry, if you're gonna get this one to 8%, your penetrating splash damage bolt will deal a lot of damage to nearby mage or archer players, so it's pretty good skill to have, right? Of course, here we have the Shower of Blows. When your Marksman Legion casts a rage kill, there is a 50% chance that their next rage kill will deal more damage. So, like, whole focus is around skill damage, right? And rage and skill damage. That's like our first idea. We want to test out how skill talent tree will be working. And another idea is going for Marksman talent tree. We're gonna go for Bullseye. We're gonna go for Pursuit. When your legion consists entirely of marksman units, they inflict fragility when casting rage skill, increasing normal attack damage taken by 10% for 5 seconds. And here, like, this is a nice talent for the marksman talent tree. When your legion consists entirely of marksman units, they can gain 5 stacks of attack increase every 10 seconds while in battle. So basically, more attack is great for skill damage users, or in general for the archers, right? But so far we are testing out this skill talent tree. This is the one which we tried in our duels, and yeah, that's it, right? If you are looking forward for a talent tree for Falgrim, you might like this one or not. Maybe you will decide to go for the marksman and PvP, right? We could easily go for skill talent tree and the PvP until the half for the Army of Failure, but this is good one to check out how it will perform, right? Of course, the Warped. We could have many choices for the defense break style, like for example Snowpeak Rock, also another example, but since Barbed Manticore was the newest Warped in the game, we decided to go for this one. Of course, there is Puncture. We will want to have the Puncture third skill, but so far it is how it is, right? The number one priority for the attributes for the Barbed Manticore is, of course, luck, agility, and strength, and having 340 luck. This is all good. Maximum amount of skill slots. Amazing Warped, right? Of course, skills will need some work, but this is just basically the first idea how it will be, right? Of course, wild counters like wild chain strike or intense chain strike can be also nice with the third intense puncture, but this is the Warped which we are having. It's not even done. Like, puncture is 1 star, so basically, like, this Warped won't gonna deal a lot of damage. It's just an idea which we're gonna do, like, hopefully in the future, right? So basically, this is the build which we have, and the idea which we are having is that defense break from Nico, Go deal a lot of damage by the skill with the penetrating bolt, by this splash damage, especially against the infantry players. And of course, we have to mention that the defense break which we get from the Nico is important because of the puncture, right? Puncture has a great, like, interesting skill in terms of defense break, deals physical damage to the target legion, and inflicts defense break -5% for 3 seconds, right? And you might say another defense break. If the target legion already has defense break, your Warped legion gains 1 stack of Thorned Mark. 5 stacks determined by luck. Each time it deals skill damage to that legion. If the target legion existing defense break effect is stronger than your own, your legion gains 50%. So basically, what's happening right here? Like generally, this Warped deals damage and also gives defense break. If you are already applying defense break to the target and puncture will give another defense break, it will give you a stacks. Maximum amount of stacks which you can get is 5, and in general, in the end, if your hero's defense break is higher than the punctures, then this skill will give you 50 rage. So, and plus each stack, which is maximum 5 stack, is giving you Warped scale damage increase, right? So each stack will increase the damage for puncture. So basically, it's a good idea to have defense break on your hero pair. So we are having defense break on our hero pair from the Nico. Defense break 50% for 3 seconds. I'm pretty sure you're gonna apply this one. So puncture should be working. So this is the build so far. It's not even a max build. It's not even a full build. Iron Tusk is not 1 level. Nico is not awakened. Barbed Manticore is work in progress. We are testing the talents, right? Let's check the duels and let's see how everything is going, right? By the way, Musyang and Theia, right? I think they are the #1 hero pair, like in terms of mage gameplay right now in the game. Of course, like Musyang is awakened, Theia is awakened. Of course, I think we are having some problems in terms of Sapphire Frederick, but that's fine. And also, yeah, we are using Vestals in terms of units, not Celestials. Celestials would be better. Yeah, like I guess Warpeds are, of course, Barbed Manticore looks better, but they are still work in progress. At least Pain Bloom is 2-star. And yeah, like I think this can be nice idea to see how it will perform. And generally, it performed really, really good. 22k severely wounded troops, 38k severely wounded troops to the mage player. And plus, we are having long range warfare, which is reducing our base damage by 20%. So it's kind of impressive, right? Even though like the main buffs you are getting is hero scale damage, sometimes like crit rate, normal attack damage from Nico, and yeah, like some healing, and yeah, like for example here, like everything is basically hero scale damage and like rage scale damage deal. They basically scale damage is what you are doing, right? That's the first report, which went really well. I think if the mage player was using Celestials, it would be much closer, but yeah, we were pretty impressed with these results, right? This one does not matter, and yeah. There is another one which I will check if there is here. Yeah, like one of the top 2 best major hero pair against, right? Liliya Velyn. Let's check, right? Yeah, finally, here. Maxed build Liliya Velyn. Max build Sapphire Frederick against not even full build Falgrim Nico and Barbed Manticore, right? I understand archers having like best targets as a mages, but the difference behind the levels and stars on almost everything is pretty huge. I basically, this is like maxed out Liliya, maxed out Velyn, a 3-star Pain Bloom, like basically also like 3-star Advanced Pain Bloom, basically like almost maxed out the Sapphire Frederick, right? Using Celestials, and it will be interesting to see how well it performed. It was super close, right? It was amazingly close, and yeah, like what we can say, like Falgrim and Nico actually work together. Of course, Doc will continue make it stronger, not only like Falgrim and not only like Nico and Barbed Manticore, but in general all around. Like even Iron Tusk needs some love because the Iron Tusk is level 1 in our case, and the Bar Strike, the Phoenix Eye is level 5, right? Like basically, yeah, maxed out builds. It's really surprising that it went so close, which is really impressive, right? And yeah, like we even tried with the Musyang, but it was kind of average. But I think even with Musyang, they are working fine, especially during open field PvP. So it was pretty impressive, in my opinion, in terms of Falgrim. Of course, Falgrim and Sibyl is workable generally. Like you will have average merits like on a Syndrome and Freygar, like Inara and Nico. I think Sibyl has a different hero pair which is working really well with Sibyl, which we're gonna speak about in the future. But so far, I think Falgrim has a way more interesting and way more heroes where he's basically performing well with Iron Tusk. And yeah, like hopefully we will have more chances to look at the Falgrim and Nico hero pair and to see when we're gonna get like more better Barbed Manticore and more skills on like Awakened Nico, how well it will perform, right? If you're interested and if you have those one maxed out, try yours and tell us how it will perform, but we have a good sense that it will be working really well. Hopefully this new idea is interesting for you guys. If it is, and if you generally like the video, press like, subscribe, share. It always makes me more like, gives me more and more motivation to make more content for this game. I wish everybody amazing day, morning and night. We are going to see each other really soon. Bye bye and good luck.